Welcome back to another episode of Toon Talk TV, the top animated podcast on YouTube. If you're new to the channel, be sure and like, follow, and subscribe. Check out the Patreon page, patreon.com/WeAreTheTelevision. We got some behind-the-scenes stuff. We got music. We got merch. We got it all back there. Today, we are talking about a tasty little underrated tune that I didn't find this. Fred, you sent this to me on Instagram. Can you tell me how you stumbled upon this lovely tune, which is called Small Man by Ryan D. Anderson and the one and only Thomas Middleditch?
Oh, dude. So I actually follow Ryan Anderson and Thomas Middleditch, and I think they both posted it the same day. But it just their inception of it, or just their talk about it, was funny. I heard that I guess they wanted to do a collab at some point, and Thomas Middleditch was just trying to make Ryan Anderson laugh, so he just left a voicemail on his phone, which became this
That's amazing. That's good
animation. Yeah.
The catch line for this is "A lonely man's deepest wish" is what Thomas Middleditch wrote on his Instagram. So, for context, this is a tune that was created in Blender and After Effects. Fred, you have familiarity with Blender. How difficult is it to animate in Blender?
Well, I personally am still learning Blender. So as far as animating, I don't really even know how to do it.
Still learning.
Yes, but working with 3D is just difficult in its own right. And Ryan Anderson has a very unique style I see throughout his pieces. And it's no different. It has a very Ryan Anderson style to it.
Slides right in.
Yep.
We will be sure and link this in the description below. But the context behind this, as Fred said, it's simply just a voice message that was sent to Ryan Anderson that he then animated. And the premise is Thomas Middleditch, he's the only voice in this cartoon. He's just paying his bar tab like a humble man would do. And then he just has a little dream, just tells this bartender his little ditty of him being a small man, 4 foot, maybe 4'2" to mix things up, with a voice of an angel, and he's just this rock star, and yeah, he's just living the rock star life, dude. Oh my gosh, the parties, just lavish rock star lifestyle. And I guess the question that I have for you guys is, art can come from anywhere. You can get inspired by anything. Have you guys ever had a voicemail or seen like a photograph or come in contact with some type of medium that inspired you to make art?
That's funny you say that. Fred did exactly that. He took
I did do that. Yeah.
Fred,
tell him
explain
about
explain.
that. Yeah.
During COVID, I was doing this like series of that like COVID virus, like image
Like
that
with
you
the-
see.
yeah.
It's
The
like a
coronavirus
ball with
looking
like,
thing, yeah.
it's like a ball with a little bunch of spikies coming out of it. It looks like I don't know, like a germ or something, but they use that to describe COVID all the time. Or I was seeing that. So I made a personified version of one of those like characters and kind of had like 3 or 4 little skits I did at the time. But someone, this goes into even deeper story. I get voicemails from CBS Sports because my phone number is 1 digit away from their like hotline. So at all hours of the night from like nationwide, I'll get like angry callers talking about their sports team, and they'll like leave a message. So one time it was one of my friends, but I thought it was an angry CBS Sports guy talking, and he was just talking about sports. He sounded like he was drunk, and he went on for a minute, and it basically turned into a little COVID character sitting on a chair just talking about sports for a second.
That is fantastic. Is there can we put that in the description? Like, is that something that you
I mean, it'll link to an Instagram, but we can do that.
We'll do that. We'll put it in the description. Bob, what about you? Is it you mastering sound or anything? Have you ever hear a song that resonates with you that you go on and do some rudiments to, or you make you make a little ditty for.
I mean, I feel like with sound, I mean, it's much easier to do with sound than animation because you could kind of grab that from anything and turn it into a sample and use that
Yeah.
sample in a tune or track some weird sound effect that you get from your phone and turn it into a drum sample and just put those into music. But nothing as interesting as that COVID animation. How about you, Mick? Have you ever repurposed something in the natural world into an art piece?
I am. I'm currently working on a subjective piece, as you might know. I have this friend that's in the habit of sending fart little voicemails to a group chat that I'm in of all these other Disney characters, and
Interesting.
he sends just a morning fart text is what one would call it. And so I've been in the business of collecting
You do save those.
collecting all these fart noises, and I'm gonna try to make a little piece out of it. Coming soon to to be announced.
Mick,
But yes,
those are my copyrighted farts. You're not allowed to use those unless I sign off on that.
Whoa. Bob, I didn't want to bring the spoiler that you were the fart on tour, dude. The fart on
Yeah,
tour.
those are copyrighted.
But no, just back to the tune. I just find it very amazing that it was just something that was trying to make someone laugh, and this guy just was like, you know what, I'm gonna run with this and make this small little 3-minute animation, and it's just beautiful.
Well, even outside of that too, he did the music, and the music was really good too.
Oh,
It starts off of like there's like two realms of music. It starts off in this bar where there's music playing in the background, and it's they're saying, "I'm a tall boy, too tall to be indoors," and then you go into this like dream world where he's just talking, and it's kind of like I don't know, like
he says he can play piano like Billy freaking Joel.
and
Or
then
no,
he does
Elton freaking John.
Yeah,
Elton
yeah.
freaking John. Yeah.
And so yeah, he's doing his own singing. The story felt so improvised yet so funny at the same time. It felt like we couldn't do this. Well, I don't want to say we couldn't do this, but I feel like having Thomas Middleditch like trying to make you laugh, like he's a professional comedian, and I feel like if you're just improvising, some of that it was good enough to just, I don't know, animate. It was great.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like that is a skill in itself that a lot of people kind of just overlook. Like the comedians have gone through a lot, and maybe sometimes they just have it in them, but there's a lot of them that work to get to that point where they go to improv classes or are part of improv groups where it's a muscle. If you exercise it a lot, I mean, you're going to get better at it. And I'm sure that's what he's doing.
I think that Mick is gonna start sending you guys just his thoughts, just in
Don't.
audio form.
Don't. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah,
Just don't
you
do
could
it.
Just record that for yourself. Play it back later.
No.
No.
Mick's the higher ups are coming down on Mick, and they said that he needs to start putting his thoughts
boy.
out into the world.
I hear
So,
enough of your
laying out his
thoughts.
political.
I hear
Yeah.
enough. I don't need any more.
Yeah. I mean, that was I think it's great. Again, we'll link to the description below. I think that was great. We will link the description below. Go check out Ryan Anderson's stuff. It's fantastic. Same with Thomas Middleditch. Hilarious. Like, follow, subscribe. Check out the Patreon page, patreon.com/wearethetelevision, and we will catch you on the next one.
We are the television.